father of the gods. This is a very important figure in Kemetic belief system that goes back obviously to the earliest roots of the Kemetic pantheon and beyond. Now, Sa himself is said to be the divinity associated with the Orion star system. And their viewpoint of Orion being the father of the gods in that respect is that Orion precedes the Sirius star in the heliacal risings that mark the beginning of the Egyptian calendar. So Orion, Sa, precedes everything in terms of the cycle of festivals throughout the course of the year as the gods manifest themselves. Now, this deity is talked about extensively, particularly in the pyramid text. And in pyramid text utterance 412, the deceased king is assured, "You shall reach Sa, the sky as Sa. Your soul shall be effective as Sotis." Orion and Sirius, or Sa and Sothis. And these are thus going to be associated with Osiris himself and Isis, or Aset. Although respectively, though they don't point to them as a personification in that light, they're clearly associated with these star systems. Now, Sopdep is the child of Sa and Sotis, and the Book of Coming Forth by Day refers to Sa as the son of Re and Nu. Now, further on in Pyramid Text 422, it says that Osiris has come as Sa, Lord of Wine in the Wag Festival. And this was a festival in which they honored Osiris, which takes place during the first month of the year. And thus it incorporates Sa Orion in his earliest position in the heliacal risings. Now, in this utterance, the king is promised to regularly ascend with Sa from the eastern region of the sky and regularly descend with Sa into the western region of the sky. Thus, he is being told that the king will be guided along the goodly roads which are in the sky in the field of reeds. Now, of course, the field of reeds is a space in between the path that the solar deity takes and where he ultimately comes to rest or passes through prior to the dawn. So he comes forth and then rises as the new day. Now, this reference of Sa as the Lord of the Wine echoes affirmations of the deceased king in utterance 405. And it says specifically, "The sky is pregnant of wine. Nut has given birth to her daughter, the dawn light, and I rise myself." And this, of course, is another reference to the heliacal rising of the Sirius star. So thus the Sirius star before the rising dawn, whose redness is compared with wine. So lots of supporting documentation in multiple texts. Now, further on in the same book, in the Pyramid Text 466, Sa and Osiris are once again parallel, and it says, "O king, you are this great star, companion of Sa, who traverses the sky with Sa, who navigates the netherworld with Osiris. The sky has borne you with Sa, the year has put a fillet on you with Osiris." Now, the companion star to Orion in this utterance has been identified either as the Prochiron or Aldebaran. Now, in utterance 477, Sa is a name of Osiris, characterized by the length of his strides, meaning the distance that he had to travel in the rises or in the rotation in the celestial bodies. Now, the most important thing about it is that Sa signifies a desirable locale or abode in the sky, a favorite son of the heavens, and is considered to be the helper in the ascension of the stars. He is massively important and also mentioned in the laminations of Isis and Nephthys, in which Isis says to Osiris, "Your sacred image, Orion in heaven, rises and sets every day. The noble image issued from you nourishes gods, men, reptiles, and herds live by it." The pyramid text later parallels the birth of Orion in the netherworld to the second birth of the deceased in the sky as a transfigured spirit, or Ankh. The sky conceives you with Orion. The netherworld bears you with Orion. This special relationship between the deceased and the Psi Orion entity is further developed in subsequent post-life literature. In fact, in coffin text, which involves an encounter between the deceased and Sa, it says, "I find Sa standing in my path with his staff of rank in his hands. I accept it from him, and I will be a god by means of it," meaning his ability to elevate that soul, right, to mastery of your own domain. But by virtue of this, he gains access to the mansion of Sa. And this has a throne in this shrine of which he is able to summon Sa at will. A scepter or staff of Sa is also mentioned in Book of Coming Forth by Day in a separate dialogue. What we learn from this deity is that he is considered to be the hierarchy from which the pantheon that we're most familiar with ultimately comes from. In another passage, he speaks to Osiris saying, "My son, older than I," is some type of meaningful paradox in Kemetic belief system. But we do know that the lineage of these deities seem to always place Sa at the top as one of the elders. Now, there has been no active veneration for this deity outside of what we see him written about in these ancient texts. So it's very important that we'll trace back his lineage to find out exactly how he fits in with some of the other mythological stories. Now, if you have more to add to this particular deity, please, as always, I ask you to do so in the comment section. And do yourself a favor, if you like the videos, click that like and subscribe, and click the notification bell so you'll be in the loop when new videos drop.